I got home from a work trip to find my brother had moved into my spare room while I was gone. When I turned my key in the lock at 11 p.m. on a Friday night, all I wanted was to collapse into my own bed. 4 days in Denver for work conferences, 2 of them spent in windowless conference rooms, and my feet were killing me. I dragged my suitcase through the darkened living room, already mentally planning how many hours I could sleep before the world demanded something of me again. That's when I noticed it. The hallway light was on, the one nobody ever uses because it's dim and kind of pointless. I frowned. I live alone. I'm very careful about that. I just ended a 3-year relationship 6 months ago, and one of the perks of being newly single was the absolute sanctity of living exactly as I wanted. I checked the front door. No signs of forced entry. My mind started racing through worst-case scenarios. Had I left that light on? I genuinely couldn't remember. I moved quietly toward the spare room at the end of the hall, my heart doing that thing it does when you're genuinely afraid. I pushed the door open slowly, and there, on the spare bed I'd been saving for guests who'd never come, was my brother James, sleeping with his mouth open and his arm thrown over his face like a child. For a solid 10 seconds, I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just stared at him. The room was different. There were boxes stacked in the corner. I counted 5 of them. His winter coat hung over the chair. There was a lamp on the dresser that I recognized from his apartment, along with a framed photo of him and his daughter Lily. The sheets on the bed were his own sheets. I knew because I recognized the pattern from when we were kids and our mom bought us matching bedding. I backed out slowly and sat on the couch in the dark, waiting. It took James about 20 minutes to come out. He stumbled into the kitchen, clearly confused, and that's when he saw me sitting in the shadows like some kind of avenging spirit. "Oh, Jesus Christ," he said, clutching his chest. "You scared the hell out of me." "What are you doing?" I asked quietly. James had the decency to look ashamed. He ran his hand through his hair, a nervous habit we both inherited from Dad, and sat down across from me. In the ambient light from the street outside, I could see how tired he looked. Not just regular tired, soul tired. "My lease ended," he said finally, "and Rebecca told me she didn't want me living with Lily anymore. Said I was destabilizing the household or whatever. She's with her mom full time now, James. I only get her on weekends." I felt something in my chest crack. "I tried to find a place," he continued, his voice getting quieter, "but everything's expensive, and I lost 2 weeks' pay when the warehouse laid off staff. Mom said I could stay with her, but you know how that goes. You know how she is about everything. I thought maybe just for a few weeks, just until I got back on my feet, you wouldn't mind. And I didn't want to ask because I knew you'd say no and I was out of options," and he stopped. He was crying. My older brother, who taught me how to ride a bike and defended me in the cafeteria when kids made fun of my glasses, was sitting in my living room crying because his life had collapsed and he had nowhere else to go. "James," I said, my anger already dissolving, "why didn't you just call me?" "Because you're you," he said. "You've got your life together. You're independent. You just got out of a relationship and you deserve to have your space back. I didn't want to be the failure older brother showing up on your doorstep like some kind of charity case." I moved to sit next to him on the couch. "You're not a charity case. You're my brother." We sat there for a while without talking. Eventually, I told him he could stay. Not for a few weeks. For as long as he needed. We worked out rent. Not much. Just something to preserve his dignity. He got a job at a gym near my place. He and Lily had their weekends and slowly, he became more like himself again. 6 months later, he moved into his own apartment. But some nights, I still catch him looking at the spare room with this grateful expression that breaks my heart a little. Sometimes the people we think we can afford to lose are the ones we need most.